Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Dark Souls Remastered. And in this little guide video, I want to show y'all how to get the Darkwraith Covenant achievement. It's one that you can miss just playing the game normally, so if you're going for all achievements, it's one of those hidden ones, I think. They don't show it to you. I don't think. They might show it to you, but anyway, it's one that you could definitely miss on your first playthrough, because if you talk to one NPC before you go somewhere else, or if you do one little thing, you can ruin it, and there's an NPC you have to talk to that if you say the wrong thing, you can ruin it. So there's multiple ways you could ruin this for the rest of your playthrough, so you got to be very careful. So on the screen here, I'm showing you the way to Ingward. It's going to be something you're going to have to do in New Londo in part of this quest. So this is the way to Ingward right here in New Londo Ruins. But to start everything off, start from the beginning. Of course, you have to get through the asylum. You have to go and beat the Taurus demon. And then you're going to have to get the Crest of Artorias for 20,000 souls from Andre. So those are things you're going to have to do before you even start doing this achievement. You're going to open the door with the Crest of Artorias. You might be able to get around it somehow, but you're going to want to go through that way anyway, so I'm going to tell you to at least do that. And then you have to fight Sif. So you're going to have to beat Sif, get his ring, and that'll allow you to go into the Abyss to fight the Four Kings, because that's part of this. Here you see Ingward, that's the way to get to him, and he's going to give us the key to the seal, which is something we need to lower the water so we can fight the Four Kings. So yeah, you have to have fought Sif and beaten Sif and gotten the ring, the Abyss Walker ring or whatever it's called. So once you get that ring, you also need to go and get I think you need to go get the Lord Vessel before you do this quest. Not 100% sure on that part, but I did. I beat Ornstein and Smo. I got the Lord Vessel. It's just easier to get around that way anyway, even if you don't need it. But you'll see that Frampt will pop up. I think after you ring the second bell, maybe, Frampt starts popping up at Firelink Shrine. Just avoid talking to him, is what I would say. He's going to be snoring. He's going to be trying to talk to you. He's going to be all dramatic, going, falling asleep and stuff like that. But just ignore him. Don't talk to him at all. That'd be the best way to make sure you get this done, you get this achievement. I'm sure you can talk to him, and you can probably do it and still get the achievement, but in my advice is to just don't talk to Frampt at all. So you'll see Frampt, don't talk to him. Then we want to go to New Londo Ruins, and then that picks up, the video picks up from there. I didn't record, I do have a video fighting Sif and stuff, but I didn't include it on this. But I show you the way to Ingward. You're going to want to go to Ingward. You have to get transient curses, that way you can kill the ghosts. There's a couple of them at the very beginning of New Londo that'll get you to Ingward, then Ingward sells them. Or you can use a cursed sword if you have one. But you talk to Ingward, he gives you the key, and then this is the way to get to the seal. So I'm showing you the way on the screen to get to the seal right now. So we're going to go this way. We're going to hit this switch in here, and then that's going to lower the water and allow us to fight the Four Kings and fight the Darkwraiths and stuff like that. So open this door. That's the door that was locked. Sorry that the audio is... I was watching something while I was recording this footage, and I always forget to mute my mic. On PS5, it's it's automatically on all the time, which I don't love. I need to figure out how to make that not a thing. Because I'll be recording footage, playing the game just normally. I'll be playing the game normally, not even expect to be recording anything, and then I'll get an idea of a video to make, and then I'll just start recording. But I'm also watching something on my laptop, and you can hear it in the background because I forget to mute my mic. So that's what happened here. That's why you can't hear any of the game footage, because there is the news in the background. So sorry about that, but I try to do as much commentary as possible to fill the air. I wanted to show you this little cheese here. After we lower the water, after we start heading the right way towards the Darkwraiths and stuff like that, towards the Four Kings, you have these enemies right here that they're not hard or anything, but if you don't... I just wanted to show a way to cheese them, because I'm probably going to make this part of the From Soft Cheese playlist. And here's a... Poison arrows are your friend. Have a bow, have some arrows, have some poison arrows, and then you can kill stuff like this. Because this thing wants you to get up close. It wants to poison you. It wants to slow you down. It wants to hit you with that big tongue spear. It wants you to blow up. I forget what those things are called. Wisps? I think it wants you to get blown up by the wisps. So here's another example of it. This is after a couple of Darkwraiths. It's a nice little farming spot for dark wraiths, if you know what I'm talking about. If you're going for titanite chunks, which I might make a video on that later as well, how to farm titanite chunks. This is that area where you would fight the dark wraiths. You got to kill this thing. Once you kill them, they're gone forever. So I say poison them, hit them with arrows, go do something else while they die, or just finish them off with like large arrows or something. So while they're dying, while it's dying there, I'll try to look up the name of it. I've been doing that as I make these videos. I've been looking up the proper names of the enemies so I can learn a little bit myself. But as it's dying to poison here, I'm gonna go get this item, which is a large soul of a proud knight. And then there's also a false wall over here. I don't know if I show it or not, but it has a titanite chunk in it right about here. There's also a dark wraith in there, so watch out. Dark wraith in there, which I make part of my farming route. And in that chest is titanite chunks. So a couple of other little things. If you're looking for just the dark wraith covenant achievement, we're getting right back to it here in a second. But wanted to show this little cheese of killing those wisp spawning enemies with arrows and poison and tether, and killing two birds with one stone, going and doing this on the side while it just dies there. Something that just, it dies and goes away forever. Why not? Why run in there and risk getting hit or killed or poisoned or slowed down or killed by the dark wraith or the wisp that's next to it or something like that, when you can just poison it and hit it with arrows and go do other things. So I'm going to finish it off here, and then we'll get back on track to going to the Four Kings. I have the Four Kings fight on this video as well. I should probably speed stuff like this up, but it's almost dead. That's a cool thing about poison arrows. See that spear? That thing goes pretty far. It goes further than you would think. Like, this thing is so slow, and if you don't get close to it, you feel like you're pretty safe, but then that spear comes out of nowhere and goes way further than you would think. And sometimes those wisp explosions explode a little bit further than you would think, so be careful, man. Alright, we got the dark wraiths. Really easy to backstab. That pillar got in my way, but usually very, very easy to backstab. They're dangerous foes. They're really cool looking. These are probably my favorite enemies in the entire game, are the dark wraiths. But they're super easy to backstab. Just put up your shield, circle to the right. They usually do that thrusting, one-hand thrust, and you can go around behind them and just backstab them. And with my sword, it one-shots them. We got the wisps here. Just get far enough away, and they're no trouble at all. We got another titanite chunk. This is the place to be. If you're looking for titanite chunks, I'm gonna make another video, but spoiler alert. New Londo is the place to be for titanite chunks. Alright, there is the boss fog for the Four Kings. We're going to have to remember to put on our ring. The Abyss Walker ring, or whatever it's called, because you can't even fight the Four Kings without it. So that's why, in the beginning of this video, I made sure to explain that you have to go to Sif, you have to kill Sif, you have to get that ring before you could even do this. Make sure you don't talk to Kingseeker Frampt at all, because you could place the Lord Vessel with him, and then you'll never see Kaathe, and then you'll never get the achievement. So that's part of getting this achievement, is to make sure you're not talking to Frampt and placing the Lord Vessel with Frampt and stuff like that, because that will make it to where Kaathe does not want to appear at all, and you don't even have a chance to join. You don't have a chance at all to join the dark wraiths. So be very careful, man. Going through, showing you the way, just totally the way from the seal to the Four Kings. I think I went back and did that after I cleared the enemies. Just that little part in the middle there was me showing you how to kill those blob wisp spawning enemies cheesily. But this is the exact way with no enemies, if you wanted to see that. Passing up the Foss Wall area, heading up here, go through this building. This is where the dark wraiths were, where the titanite chunks were. Go out of that building, head to the right. Or not the right, a little bit to the right, more straight. Go through the fog. If you don't kill the enemies and you're fighting the Four Kings, you're going to have a bunch of ghosts on you and wraiths on you as you go through this fog. But I know how it is when you're trying the Kings for like the second, third, fourth, fifth time. You don't want to kill all the enemies. So taking off my covetous silver serpent ring, which I do have a video on how to get that easily. So go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. I'll try to link it at the end of this one if I remember. But looking for my ring for the Covenant of Artorias, I guess is the ring. So you head down the stairs. You don't have to go all the way down. You can drop off, but wait until you see like a little ledge thing. I think I'm making sure I have, I don't know what I'm doing here. Humanity, I guess. Not sure why, but just making sure I fill my health all the way up before I fight them, because I only have 4 Estus. I did this with 4 Estus. No planning ahead, really. I was there, I cleared everything out, I was making this video, and I'm like, might as well fight the 4 kings now instead of going back. But if you drop down without going too far, you can just drop all the way down into the abyss. Alright, we have the 4 kings. I'm pretty beefed up. If you've been following along, you'll also be really beefed up with pyromancy and poise and a nice big strength sword. But if you're not following along and this is the only video you've watched so far, the easiest way, I think, of beating the 4 kings consistently would be through pyromancy. So maybe get yourself some iron flesh, get yourself some combustion, great combustion. That's usually what I do. I go like all in on pyromancy. So whatever that means to you, whether it's the dusk crown or a ring, or you can't wear a ring unless you're going to take off your ring of favor and protection. But whether it's a crown or a ring or your pyromancy glove is fully maxed out, I would say iron flesh plus great combustion are the way to go if you're having trouble with the 4 kings. If you're not having trouble, you're not having trouble. You don't need to cheese it. But I don't even say that's really too cheesy. But I did it with 4 Estus flasks and a black knife sword. Black knight sword. I keep calling it a black knife sword. It's a black knight sword. It's the straight sword, I think. It's not the great sword. It's the straight sword. So I go in circles so I can see when the next one pops. I was lucky enough to kill the first one before the second one popped. I was lucky enough to get that roll, because I probably would have died. Chug some Estus. You can chug it right in their face. Like, that's another way to fight them, is just heavy, strong two-hander, and then chug Estus in their face when you need to. That's kind of what I did. And I only needed 4 Estus. I think it's a pretty close fight. But look at 4 kings are almost dead. Remember, you can hit them after they're dead sometimes. So, like, as it's disappearing, you can continue to kind of hit it and lower the boss bar. You have to kill, I think, 3 or 4 of them to fully deplete the boss bar, but you can continue to hit them as they're disappearing, too. That one's pretty easy to dodge. It's kind of like the Darkwraiths. Kind of hoping for that one. The grab sucks. I shouldn't have got grabbed, but it happened. It's okay. If I had an Estus, I would just chug it right in its face right now, but I don't, so I just got to kill it. It's almost dead anyway. Boom. Bam. We win. So this is when you're going to see King Darkstalker Kaathe. So it's Kingseeker Frampt and Darkstalker Kaathe, I think is the name. 2 different serpents. One really wants you to do the dark ending where you walk away, and one really wants you to do the light the fire ending where you light the fire and incinerate yourself. I'm gonna talk to this guy, not place the Lord Vessel with Kingseeker Frampt, and I'm gonna do the light the bonfire ending because I don't have that one yet. So we talk to him. You gotta make sure to say yes. If you say no, he will disappear forever. There's a couple things that if you do it, you're not going to be able to get this achievement on this playthrough. You're going to have to go through the game all over again, kill the 4 kings all over again, get the kill Sif all over again. You're going to have to do all that stuff all over again if you make one little mistake here. So don't talk to Frampt at all. Don't place the Lord Vessel, right? And then talk to Kaathe and say yes. Don't say no. So I think there's 3 things that can make it to where you can't get this achievement in your playthrough. Number 1 would be placing the Lord Vessel with Frampt. Maybe talking to... I'm not sure about talking to him or not, but that would be my other one. Just don't talk to him. But for sure, placing the Lord Vessel with Frampt will make this impossible. And then if you're talking to Kaathe and you say no, that'll make it impossible too. So I think there's 2 things. 2 things that can make it impossible to get this achievement on your first playthrough. And, yeah. So don't talk to Frampt just to be super safe. Definitely don't place the Lord Vessel with Frampt. And then make sure you say yes when you talk to Kaathe. You know, join the Covenant and do whatever he says to do, pretty much. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent. I seek to right the wrongs of the past to discover our true Lord. I always thought he was right anyway. But the other serpent, Frampt, lost his sense and befriended Lord Gwyn. Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature. And become the fourth Lord, so that you may usher in the Age of Dark. That's what I did on my very first playthrough, but I talked to Frampt instead. What is your decision? Say yes. Decision. Yes. I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison. Be still and trust thine flesh to me. Gonna pick us up with his mouth and take us down there to where you place the Lord Vessel. So if you accidentally do this with Frampt, Kaathe will not do it. And that's what I'm saying. By talking to Frampt, you might accidentally get him to take you down there. You might accidentally place the Lord Vessel. And you don't want to do that, because you want to wait for Kaathe so you can join the DARKWRAITH Covenant and get that achievement. Firelink Altar. Now place the Lord Vessel upon the altar. Buddy. I got 90,000 souls right now, man. 4 kings. Plus killing all the enemies in New Londo. Looking for my binoculars, because I want to get a nice shot of this dude. Nice pic of him. Yeah. Laying on the rug in front of his family. Looking pretty cool. The cooler looking one anyway. Other one's all disgusting looking, burping and farting and smelly. This guy looks way cooler. Got those serpent eyes. He's grinding his teeth. He's on a bunch of blue glass with Walter White. Grinding his teeth. Let's get a good look at him. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. He's got like walrus, whatever you call it, like a mustache. Alright, place the Lord Vessel. I think we already got the achievement. So anything after is just extra stuff here. Once you join the DARKWRAITH Covenant, you get the achievement. So I don't even know if you have to place the Lord Vessel with him. You could just say, hey, take me out. But then Frampt won't be there. So might as well, right? So this will now allow us to put the souls into the vessel and work our way towards opening this door here to fight Gwyn. So we got the 4 kings already. Next I'm going to fight Nito. The order I'm going to do it in is 4 kings, then Nito, then Seath, then Bed of Chaos. Because I'm doing Pyromancy and I'm going to make sure I get every single spell. Because that's another achievement I need. So I'll try to make a video on that. It's kind of harder. I've been trying to like capture footage as I do things with the Pyromancy, but I don't know. I would have to like been thinking about it and like labeling them and stuff like that, because there's like some spells that are in Blighted Lands, and then there's some you have to give Covenant items to the Fair Lady, and then there's some with Ingi where you have to put an egg on your head and do that. You know, to get every single spell, usually you have to buy like every spell from each vendor, and then usually there's a Covenant involved where you have to give something to a Covenant, and then there's usually something that you have to go find out in the world to get every single spell for Miracle, Sorcery, and Pyromancy. And then the one I'm going to work on this time is Pyromancy. I might be able to get Miracles too, because I did the whole Rhea quest. Sorcery, I don't know. Maybe. But I'm trying to get all the achievements back. I had them all on Xbox 360. I had the Platinum. And I've only played through the game. I've only played through Remastered once. Maybe twice. Once or twice on PlayStation. Now I have PS5, so I'm going to try to get all the achievements on PS5. I don't know if you guys need to see the rest of this. I'm just jumping around trying to get good pictures of them. So let's put it in... Okay, if you wish, I shall grant the Art of Life Drain. The legendary power of the Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead. and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren. It's pretty cool. Join Covenant? Yes. Oh, so this is when you join. But I already got the achievement. Right? Thought I saw it pop up whenever I said yes. Back in the Abyss. So yeah, that's when you technically get the achievement, is in the Abyss after the Four Kings when you say yes to Kaathe. But to join the Covenant, you have to be here, place the Lord Vessel, talk to him, I guess. I mean, I might be slightly wrong on a couple of the details, but usually when I say do it this way, it's not wrong, but sometimes the details aren't like, oh, actually, you don't have to place the Lord Vessel. You can talk to him before you place it and join the Covenant. And technically, you can talk to Frampt. You just can't go down and place the Lord Vessel with Frampt. You know, but I get you to the right place in the end, and I'm just being extra careful and trying to make it to where you get it for sure, you know? There's sometimes you're going to have those comments where they're like, technically, you can blah, 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 but they can also screw you up and make it to where you don't get it then. But that's it for this one. Covenant, Darkwraith, let's go. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. It helps a lot to your guild about the channel. Comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Crystal Lizards, you want to see how to respawn them? Peace.